brand new competitors. We got your feedback after last season. You guys said you wanted to see some new faces. You didn't want the same old every time. So we got you some new faces. Raylan from the guild CLC and Magus I believe from the guild Hoagie Haven Heroes, as Raylan explodes all over this Warlock. Warlock's the dominating class in CDL Season 1. We'll see if they're able to continue that domination here in Season 2 as Magus gets hit by the Cone of Cold from Raylan. Follow-up Cone of Cold. Interesting Cold Snap there by Raylan. Preemptive Cold Snap there, trying to finish off the Warlock who pops his Hellstone. Meanwhile, Raylan going for the Ice Block here. Only one Ice Block because he popped his Cold Snap early, and the Fell Hunter with the Dispel. Now Raylan low on mana, trying to chase down this Warlock, pops his Cone of Cold, Arcane Explosions, but he goes down. Raylan going... Peo, that's right. Peo's the all-time rank 14. The all-time rank 14 for sure. Here we go as the dual flag goes down. Looks like a tentative reset here for both competitors. The Fell Hunter positioned strategically around 20 yards away from Magus doesn't want to get caught in the double Frost Nova. So an experienced dueler, you can tell. He is new to the CDL, but it looks like he's not new to dueling. As the Fell Hunter goes in, there's the net coming out from Magus right away. As Raylan gets the Frost Nova off. He's got his Barop Peasants as well. Again, Raylan going for the burst strat. Here comes the Fear from Magus It's improved counterspelled by Raylan. So Magus silenced there for a couple of seconds. Raylan popping off right now as the huge Cone of Cold crits, finishes the job. Raylan, who expended the majority of his cooldowns in the first duel, fires back and splits it 1-1. Our first 1-1 of the day. Stopwatch and a Lifestone for that extra HP recovery. Lifestones were banned in CDL Season 1, so it's another interesting addition here in terms of trinkets. We'll see if it helps him in this duel as Unban the Chef charges in. There's the Frost Nova into the Scorches right away. Gnomish Death Ray being charged up by Unban the Chef, but it's immediately blocked by Raylan, so Chef forced to shift out of that Frost Nova. Now he's trying to chase down Raylan, gets the Fairy Fire applied, hops into bear form. There's the charge, immediately blinked by Raylan, goes for the Frostbolt, rank 1 Frostbolt. No, there's the Gnomish Detomatic Projector, backfires onto Raylan. Now Unban the Chef with the advantage. No, he's at 29% HP, goes for the Nature Swiftness, immediate counterspell there from Raylan, hops into the War Stomp as Unban the Chef, gets his bleeds off. Raylan Frost Nova, as Unban the Chef gonna shift this. No, he waits for the duration fall off, Cone of Cold from Raylan, into the Fire Blast. Unban the Chef just try to chase him down, not shifting, trying to stay in cat form as long as possible. Goes for the grenade. Does it land? It does. Back into bear form is the Chef. Try to generate whatever rage he can, but it's that ice barrier that's preventing the rage gen. The Scorch is now coming out from Raylan, who's almost completely on Frost. That was resistant by Unban the Chef, who chases Raylan down. No, he does not shift out of form. And there's the cat shift going for the re-stealth apply. He gets it. Meanwhile, Raylan popping the Evocation here, manning back up. He has a strong advantage now for the remainder of his duel, but he does burn his Evocate, and he does burn his first Ice Block. As we can see, Raylan does get the Arcane Explosion off, breaks Unban the Chef out of stealth, and fires off the Frostbolt into the Arcane Explosion. Great predict there by Unban the Chef going stealth, looking for that opener. Stealth classes do get the opener in the CDL. As Raylan blinks away once again, it looks like duel number 1 all over again. Frostbolt into the Fire Blast, drops that Arcanite Dragonling. Looks to get a couple of Flame Buffet stacks on Unban the Chef if he can, as Unban the Chef hops over to bear form. Charges in onto Raylan. There's the counterspell, though, coming out from Raylan. The Frostbolt as well, forcing the shift. Goblin Mortar lands for Unban the Chef. Looks like he'll be able to get some damage off here. Breaks the ice barrier, but is it going to be enough? He's Nova'd up. Doesn't have NS, still on cooldown. Charges back in onto Ralin, who blinks the stun once again. Goes into travel form. Looking to buy some time is the Chef. Wanted to see this out of him. Duel number 1 preemptively pops the bandage a little bit too close, and Raylan's able to interrupt it with a rank 1 Frostbolt, blink in, and finish off the Chef here for a quick 2-0. Mage versus Druid.
Opener was always, you know, pop skull, blink on top of them, or use rocket boots and get on top of them, or net trinket, mortar, you know, anything. Ralin here going for the rank 1 Frostbolt. Means he's going to get scattered right there. And now he's in a pretty bad situation here. He needs to land his grenade here, doesn't get it, goes for the rank 1 frostbolt. Jerome not going to reflect that one. There's a frost reflector coming out very late right there. But I think he's gotten himself enough time here to get another scatter shot. But Ralin still has his ice block here. Trinkets out of the Nova to avoid the crit there from the Shatter, but still taking so much damage from that dead zone by the Mage. Ralin going to activate his mana gem right there. And if he can get this trap, oh, it's going to get ice block though. Not going to be enough here for Jerome. I think he's going to just go down. I believe that was a cold snap at the very end there by Ralin.
Not quite as bursty as the one we're seeing right here and right now. He supplements that with a Birov Peasant Collar, so he's going to try to use his Peasants to absorb the freezing trap of Jerome's. As Jerome opens up with a scatter shot into the Viper Sting once again. Doesn't have his Frost Reflector trinket up, so we'll see if he can dodge that rank 1 Frostbolt. He doesn't. He does get his aspect off. Going for the Viper Stings. Yeah.
He doesn't have a slow, unfortunately, on Ralin here. So Ralin is able to basically walk up to him for free. And now he's got him in exactly where he wants him on that Mage. He should just spam a few Arcane Explosions and he will take Jerome down there. 2-0. Pretty strong performance here from Ralin. See, Ralin, what trinkets are you wearing, my friend? Okay, so he's wearing Barrows. See if Fizz can maybe taunt those. He goes for the Nova into the nade. Frost Reflector. Oh, he gets sheeped on it. He kills off the totems. This is a great opener for Ralin. He just needs to resheep Fizz and then get distance. If he runs at him and starts playing, very close to him right away, that's not what he wants to do. He's going to go ahead and rebuff. And now he's going to play the max range, go for the Frostbolt, summon the Barrows, go for, some Scorches, some Fireballs, blink backwards there. So he turns his camera and blinks away from Physical's range right there. And he's going for the bandage as well. So Ralin's playing this very, very safe. I would have liked to see him go for more damage and go in and all in there, because resetting like this, it's not really something that's good for the Mage, because the Shaman is just doing so much damage. Fizz almost takes Ralin down there, interrupts the Polymorph, gets the Grounding Totem, 1 melee attack, Wind Fury procs, and that's going to be it. Exactly why you don't want to play that game. As
to the teeth. But also Fizz, I first met Fizz a while back. He's actually one of the most notorious PvE players out there. Multi-time rank 1 parser in retail World of Warcraft. Plays on the top end of the PvE scene, but we've seen him here just dominate in his duels so far in the CDL, consistently coming out as either the #1 or #2 Shaman. And it looks like he's trying to continue that success today against Raylan, who scorches up onto Sea-Doo, gets the counter spell off right before the Lesser Healing Wave, so Raylan might be able to finish this one off. Puts on his Ice Barrier as well. There's the Frost Nova, Coda Cold, Fizz is in trouble, and Raylan with the, I guess what's now considered vintage for him, the Cold Snap double Coda Cold, finishes off Fizz and takes a win off the Elemental Shaman, 1-1 in this matchup.
To use his Will of Forsaken, his Trinket, and his Ice Block, then the Shadow Priest basically wins. If the Mage basically has to reset, he's not in a great spot. So let's see how the opener looks. He's not going to go for a poly. Ralin instead just going for the damage immediately. Blinks the Fear and that Blackout proc. Summons the Chicken. Goes for the Nova Nade. And he's going for a Scorch Fire Blast combo because that Frost Reflector was active. Counterspells the Mind Blast. So Serendipity's going to be able to free heal himself. Probably going to activate the Troll Ray shot. And there it is. No, that's the Chicken Enraging. Serendipity really should have used his Troll Ray shot right here. He could have topped himself. Instead, this Chicken is doing so much work with that pushback. He needs to dot it. It's on 1% HP. He's not going to kill it. And Ralin still, though, taking so much damage with that Silence Mind Blast combo. Serendipity turns the tide of a very dire situation there with some big crits.
He makes that adjustments and goes for the pets this time around as Raylan just opens up hardcore with the Shadow Reflector trinket, buying just a little bit of time to empty into Serendipity's Will the Forsaken pop by Raylan. After that Psychic Scream, going for the Cone of Cold, the Blackout proc, forced to blink is Raylan as he gets the Frost Nova off. The silence, though, by Serendipity's completely nullifying that grenade by Raylan. Here comes the Frostbolt cast once again. Serendipity's going for the Thorium grenade himself. The Mind Blast is ice blocked by Raylan, who follows it up with a Frostbolt. He's going to try to finish off Saren here. Cone of Cold once again. Frost Nova. There's the double Cone of Cold, so he pops his Cold Snap there. Oh, Zico, what happened?
fear right there. There was no Will of the Forsaken. There was no Ice Block. Saren with a huge misplay. He might be able to still connect back here in this game, though. He used that med pouch, dispels the ice barrier, going for some damage. Mind Blast connects. If he can get a dot onto Ralin, he should be able to take this game. He goes for the inner focus, and there it is. He goes for the Mind Flay. I would have liked to see a Shadow force, you know, his Rocket Boots and then sheep him, force his Frost Reflector and sheep him. He has to play it like that. Because if he doesn't respect the warrior, he's going to be in big trouble. He gets charged, he gets that first polymorph. And this is actually a good opener here for Zetox. He got a crit there with something because he broke both of the shields for the mage. Mage is going to go and drink, go for the resheep, wait out that hamstring, and he's going to go for a Frostbolt into a rank 1 Frostbolt, I believe. And he goes for the max rank, cancels, tries to fake out the Frost Reflector. Zetox, though, rather take the damage than use that Frost Reflector. Going to get the grenade into the first aid, get stopped, and there's the intercept. And now we can see maybe a rocket boot or a rocket helm or something to try to close the gap. He gets counterspell. He tried to get a charge there. Free action potion has been popped, and there's the rocket boots. Waited a little bit with it, but now he's going to connect on the target, and there's the ice block. He wishes he had his first aid here, but he doesn't. He's going to go for eat sticks. He's going to go for the charge, actually. Doesn't get it. Raylan cancels the ice block, and there's the recklessness pop. Raylan in big trouble here. Couple of swings could just end the game here, and there it is. He gets destroyed, and that is what Zetox. So he can't break any root. So he's gonna have to trinket. Yeah, I think he has one root breaker, which is his trinket, and he has rocket boots, like the gnomish ones.
Yeah,
so we'll see if he can do that.
As he's trying to get the polymorph fob, is Raylan. Zetox unable to get the interrupt, so successful juke there by Raylan. One thing Zetox does have is his rocket helmet, which he didn't use in the first duel. That'll keep Ralin pretty exposed. It'll force him to ice block. So it looks like Zetox is going to try to hold on to that, and he uses it right then and there. Expect the ice block from Ralin. There it is. Hamstring comes out from Zetox. He's got so much rage. He's about to pump it all into Ralin right now. Heroic Strike, following up the Mortal Strike. Not quite. Breaking the shield with the rage. And Zetox finishes it off with the execute. It's a relatively unique class. Druid PvP is not something you see every day regardless, so at the end of the day, the results, you know, they could really go every which way, as Guzzi looks to have the results go in his favor here in this duel against Raylan. The grenade comes off Zico, and Raylan gets the polymorph, but it looks like it's skulled or broken prematurely as Guzzi vanishes up, and Raylan drops the blizzards.
Ooh, Raylan's playing this matchup pretty well so far. Guzzi, too slow with the nade. Gonna get sheeped and get that nade batched right there. Evocation coming out from Ralin a little bit early, but I like it. Gonna go for the resheep into the Fireball rank 1 Frostball combo. There it is, max rank Fireball into a rank 1 Frostball. That's so you put up that Fireball damage over time debuff. Guzzi now trying to get in range. He gets the blind, immediately ice blocked by Ralin. There's the cold snap, there's the preparation, there's a full kidney shot, there's the blink. Guzzi has one more advantage left in his pocket. He's going to use it right there. If he can reach him with a cheap shot, it could be his duel. He reaches him with an ambush, and that is a very fast paced. It feels like you have to make a lot of split-second decisions, and if you do the right ones, you come out ahead. And duel number 2, however, is basically like watching a shitty version of a warrior trying to kill a mage. So Guzzi is not going to win this one. Spoiler alert.
We'll see if he's able to pull out some kind of bag of tricks here. He's got the cloaking device on. Sheeped once again, but that's pretty DR'd sheep there as Raylan looks to open up. There's the fireball onto Guzzi into the rank 1 frostball. Guzzi pops his ice reflector just a little bit too late. Gets the blind. Immediately ice blocked by Raylan.
Guzzi now in a Nova. He's gonna. Nah, I don't think that cloak device was actually kind of. Ooh, maybe. Raylan with a good blink. Does he have ice reflector? He does not. No, Guzzi's caught. Spider belt. He's gonna get sheeped. Oh, he skulls it. Oh, Guzzi can actually reach him if he jumps.
Skull of Impending Doom. Is it gonna be enough with that speed boost to get Guzzi into range? He turned it off maybe a little bit too early, trying to prevent the lifesteal, or the life drain, I should say, as he goes off with the range attacks. Now Guzzi, Raylan expected to Nova and just finish off Guzzi with a couple of scorches here. The Kona Cold as well. Is Guzzi going to be able to gouge? No, he gets it, but not in time for the Arcane Explosion and Raylan's victory there. 1-1 split